Considering the second group of professionals that you'll collaborate with as a special education professional is other teachers. The group of general educators that is the bulk of the population that you'll collaborate with. This is really the key, the connection, the promise behind inclusive education. Our topic for this week is collaboration. We've looked at related service providers, which are other kinds of professionals. And this slide and the next few are going to talk specifically about the collaboration between special education teachers and general education teachers. That has typically been called co-teaching by lots and lots of people, and it means lots of different things. The last slide was a very short audio from Marilyn Friend, who is considered the gold standard of research on co-teaching that kind of grounds us in a definition. On this slide, I've kind of given you some real basics about what that looks like. When you're working with general education teachers through co-teaching and collaborating, you're working together to have engaging and effective learning for all students. This can be super closely related where you're all meeting the same grade level standards. It can be wildly creative and different if you're including students with really intensive needs into their grade level classrooms. It looks different according to the student's individual needs. It also provides an additional qualified teacher in the room to specifically go after the specially designed instruction and support all learners, specifically those with IEPs. That's important to remember. What's interesting, and this has been over my career over the last 30 years, it kind of originated as a delivery model. It wasn't necessarily in the land of collaboration at first. It was a simple delivery model of let's take the special ed teacher and students out of the special ed classroom, put them in the same room where their peers are, and deliver services there. It was very black and white and very simple as it first began to develop, and it has grown into so much more. We're going to talk about what that so much more means, and I want you to think about some myths first, and then I'm going to turn you loose on some slides to look at some models. There's really a myth out there that co-teaching is a 50-50 model. It's half of the work is done by this person, half of the work is done by this person. And that's not necessarily true. It might sometimes look like that, but the special education teacher's primary job is to provide specially designed instruction for IEPs, for students with IEPs. The general education teacher's primary job is to provide the content expertise. So there's no 50-50 split there. The roles are very, very, very different, and the work does not look the same. It's important to recognize this and to realize that one person isn't necessarily working harder than the other. But what I learned as a special education teacher through collaboration and co-teaching is that you end up working smarter, not harder, because you're working together and you're acknowledging those differences, you're bringing in different perspectives, and you're deliberately planning to meet the needs of all learners. I'm going to turn you loose on the next several slides for you to look at a graphic representation and a short description of the 6 models of co-teaching. I want to summarize my part by saying, again, this week I'm not asking you to truly apply any of this knowledge. This is introductory for some of you, a review for others, but you're going to pull this knowledge through the next several weeks of our course and into the summative assessment, the final, that I'm going to announce in a couple of weeks or modules. There is a quiz for you to take at the end. It's a Google form. Take your time with that. I don't have a time limit on that other than the fact that it needs to be done before you turn in your final. It's more of an assessment of your own learning, a reflection of your own learning, and a way to just give yourself a little bit of checks and balances before you attempt to apply this co-teaching and collaboration knowledge. As always, please contact me with any questions or concerns, but take a look at the next several slides for those 6 models, and then go ahead and click through on that quiz that's both here in our slides and in Blackboard.